Randy Weatherford, Amber Franklin-Denton, and a whole lot more today on The Wes Buck Show. Listen, I've never had any problem expressing my opinions, but what we're doing here is bigger than that. These are conversations that need to be had in an unfiltered way. Drag racing's all I've ever done. It's all I care to do. I respect the history, I appreciate how far we've come, but I want more for this sport, and I'll fight for it. It's uncut, it's unfiltered, this is the show of shows. The biggest names in drag racing. No holds barred. This is the great American motorsport, drag racing. Prove me wrong, I'll wait. Hey gang, Wes Buck here, Drag Illustrated Magazine, checking in. It is Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. Hope you're doing well out there. Thank you guys so much. I just hung up right there. I hit the rev limiter. I think it was. David Grubnick was talking about the rev limiter on those Top Fuel drags this year last week. And that's what happened right there. The ignition retards kicked in. But thank you guys so much for joining us, as always, as we break down all the latest happenings in the sport of drag racing. Hopefully dive deep into a few of these topics. We got a hell of a show for you guys today. I'm excited about this, perhaps long overdue. We're going to be joined in just a few short minutes by Randy Weatherford, fresh off a huge win at the PDRA Northern Nationals at US 131 Motorsports Park, an absolutely dominating performance. We're excited to talk to him about it. Then about 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, we'll check in with Amber Franklin-Denton, who also just found her way to the winner's circle this past weekend at US 131, scoring her first ever career victory in nitrous competition. A lot to touch on, but before we get too far along, what's up, boys? You guys doing well? How are things in North Carolina and Missouri, respectively?
Today, Junior.
That was a layup. It was. It was a layup. Leave it to me to stutter.
We're on the good side of summer now, hopefully.
What have you done? It's like a yawn now that we're all going to hem-haw around for the rest of an hour and a half. That should be
good. I got my voodoo mixing board.
We don't need any help destroying the show, you know? So a slight speech impediment, that'll really help. But no, man, is it, how are things for real? Brett or JT, I know you've been golfing like crazy. Mike, what's going on out in North Carolina?
Man, we're getting ready, dude. We're it's about that time, man. We're on the good side of summer now, I feel like, and rolling into the fall, and things are picking up.
I'm going to take some ownership right here. How's our vinyl shop doing?
Vinyl shop's doing really good, man. We actually had we actually had Mr. Weatherford's rig in last week. Got a brand new rig. I think that may have been part of the secret to his success last week.
Oh, you know that makes all the difference. Ask any drag racer. The bigger the tow rig, the more likely our success.
It does. Probably the nicest trailer I've ever. It smelled like a new car inside. Probably the nicest trailer I've
does it have the circular? What's the mat called in those? The black mat with the little dimes on it. That floor is called something. You know, that nice rubber.
Oh, rubber flooring.
No, it's got but the coin thing. They call it something specific. Randy.
That's Randy. Maybe Randy knows.
Yeah, Randy will know. But well, let's go ahead. Why not, guys? Let's give up a round of applause. We're almost right on. Are we 2 minutes ahead of schedule? This is a big deal, guys. Let's give it up for Randy Weatherford.
What's up, Randy?
What's up, Randy?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Man, not as well as you, my friend.
Man, look at that! Look at the Drag Illustrated plaque over there on the blue wall.
Oh yeah,
he's got everything WS Construction blue. Man,
yeah.
Right on brand.
You know, Wes, when I got that text from you yesterday, I said, "Damn, a bomb must have went off down there." You know.
No, I literally, as soon as it was all unfolding on Saturday night, I'm texting Mike and JT. It's like, we got to get Randy on the show. I've known Randy for 20 years. Why haven't we had Randy on the show? But no, it's I'm glad it worked out the way it did, man. There's so much to cover, and that's actually one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, Randy, is like, I've known Randy Weatherford, the drag racer, for my entire adult life. I'm a huge pro mod guy, and I always paid attention to like the quick 8 fast door slammer scene on the East Coast. The Carolinas was always like the hotbed for this type of racing. And I'm just curious, like, we can obviously talk about this past weekend, but when did you first lay eyes on a pro mod?
God, I think I went to Piedmont probably about 30 years ago, and I seen Rick Moore, the mailman. All of them was racing up there, and I just started my company, and I told my wife, I'm going to get me one of them, and then I started, working on getting one, and God, I think I've been racing right now for about 28 years.
Golly. All of us like kind of fall in with a group. You know what I mean? Like when I first started going to the races, I was lucky enough that I went racing with my dad, right? But you always kind of fell into a little crew of guys who'd you like fall into with back 28 years ago? Like who were the boys that you ended up making friends with, that probably poured fuel on the Randy Wants to Go Pro Mod Race and Fire?
It was Todd. It was also Mike Carpenter's daddy. Ricky was a little bit in there. Rick Moore was running at that time. Mike Shelton, I don't know if y'all remember him. I bought his bootleg car, they called it, the Camaro.
Oh, I do remember the car now.
I mean, it was good at that time, but, if you look at where we're at today, it's way behind time. So I think, growing up on the Quick 8 and the Extreme Pro Mod series really helped me, progress along where I'm at today.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, you were always a hitter with the Quick 8 stuff, and then at some point you progressed to the, what you call the national touring scene with ADRL, PDRA, and what you're seeing now. We always knew you were, a force to be reckoned with here in the Carolinas, but now I think people across the country are starting to see that. And when you won the race this weekend, I couldn't believe that it had been 3 years or over 3 years since your last win. So, I mean, what's that been like to kind of fight that uphill battle and then get back on top?
I mean, I won the Pro Star Shootout in 2022.
Yeah.
And then for this race, I won down at Rockingham, that big dog shootout they had. I've won twice this year. I won at Rockingham and then the US 131 in this last race that we did. Remember last year I blew up the Pro Charger up there. I mean, it tore the shit out of my car. Knocked the gas tank off of it. Cut the lines up and everything. And we rebuilt that and got back in the race, and I still got my ass stomped.
Not anymore.
So, I mean,
not anymore.
No,
I'm curious. I mean, you said that in your post-race interview with our own Drag Illustrated's own Nate Van Wagen and talking with Straight Line Media's Kyle Christ. What do you said you're back, right? You feel like you can run with these guys. I know, like for us, Mike and I watching you in the Quick 8 scene, you're always a nitrous guy. A few years back, you make the move from nitrous to the centrifugal blower. And I'm just like, that's a big, most nitrous guys, they'd rather quit racing than not run nitrous. Right. But but you're seeing that change, right? I'm just curious, like, what has this whole process been like, switching from a nitrous, like, to a blown combination, a boosted combination? I'm sure that was a big change of pace, but now a little more nuanced, switching from the Pro Charger to this new Hearts Charger from Dustin Hartz and the boys at Hearts Turbo. That was all the talk, right? All the text that I was getting, everything was about the Hearts Charger. And I'm just curious, like, what has this whole experience of wholesale changes and now nuanced changes been like?
I don't miss the nitrous class, to be honest with you. I mean, I've tore up more shit over there than you can count on your damn fingers and toes. Going into this, running this centrifugal blower and stuff has been a dream. When I first came out with it in 2019 with Pro Line, I started, setting records and stuff. There were some races I won there at the beginning and stuff. There's some races I lost due to the transbrake button going bad on me and stuff. And then all of a sudden you see the rules, like everybody go ape shit and they want to throw rules on everything, But going to this Heart Charger, Dustin, I flew out there to the PDRA show in 2024, met with him, talked to him and stuff. because, like that explosion I had at US 131, Pro Charger didn't do nothing for us. They didn't give a damn about that. If they did, they would have fixed the problem. And I just felt like that we were struggling with the Pro Charger because, I don't know if you've ever watched one run. It shakes, it rattles, it does stupid shit. So, meeting Dustin was a dream, to be honest with you. It was a dream. That thing is smooth. I mean, hell, Wes, I could cut your hair on it. I could sit you on top of the block and give you a haircut. You would never feel the motor vibrate on your ass. I mean, that's what the thing is.
We're going to have to do that. Let's set that up for a winter series.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
I think this thing is, I think that has helped the motor, to be honest with you guys. It's I mean, this thing is like you can either go to Kmart and buy a little watch that used to be in business, or you can go buy you a Rolex. And I got the damn Rolex. I mean, when I went to this guy. So, I mean,
JT's, oh my goodness. You hate it because I was glad to see the Pro Charger arrive on the scene in Pro Mod, because that's like part of the song and dance of our class has always been the kind of, there's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, right? I mean, when Pro Mod first happened in the late 80s, it was exclusive to nitrous cars. Then we see the root style supercharger make its way in. Then we see the hemispherical head make its way into the class. And then you see twin turbos introduced to the class. And then you see nitrous systems change. We go from like wet, multi-stage hardline systems to in the plenum single, you know what I mean? All a dry system with fuel injection. And then we see the centrifugal blower show up. Now we're seeing different brands. Do you think that this could ultimately be a good thing? Like right now, you can call up Chuck Ford, you can call up Mike Janis, you can call up Al Billis, you can call up, the list goes on, Troy Critch. You can buy a lot of different roots blowers. Do you think that that's kind of what we're seeing here?
Well, I think so. We're seeing it's going to help develop more, to be honest with you. The problem I have with blowers is that you've got to have a truck blower to run fast, okay? I want something I can reach in that box when it comes from Amazon, pull it out. It's the same damn thing every time, okay? That's what I want. And that means every man that's racing with us right now, he can get the same damn thing. I don't want this thing to be limited, so I've got to have a Chuck Force blower to run up front.
Yeah, I
That's
completely
the problem
agree.
we have in this industry, guys. People are limited on what they can do because people says, well, I don't like you, Randy, so I'm not selling you this Chuck Force blower. So that stops me from being able to be competitive, guys. Think about it.
I mean, serious. I mean, and a lot of those guys have, and I don't mean to talk out of turn, but they have a limitation, right? Where they're only going to have so many units in circulation so that they can charge accordingly. I mean, I know back when we were doing the World Series of Pro Mod in Denver, each year I had customers that weren't able to participate because they couldn't get one of the good blowers, and told me that, hey, I'm not going to spend 10 grand towing out there to not have a chance, and I'm like,
Right.
I totally
That's
understand, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Cause I think that's where I think I was really against screw blowers. Like historic, you can go back and read my articles in the magazine, anything I've said publicly. I've always said wherever screw blowers go, they screw everything up. It's just so much power, reliable, consistent. It's almost always been an issue. Our sport has evolved, and now they're just part of the mix, right? But I think you make a really good point. You can buy a fucking screw blower, and they're all going to. I mean, I have heard of people.
If you can find one, that's the problem now, though.
Yeah, but to Randy's point, it's a sealed unit. Nobody's in there making their own rotors or making their own stuff. It's all the same, and I think that's where the that's the opportunity, is to make it so that a racer can trust that they can call and make an order, get a box and yank it out, and they've got the same stuff that everybody else has. I'm sure that means a lot to you, Randy.
That's right. It does. It puts us all on the same even field, and, that's just like, if you're playing football and stuff, I mean, do you want to just take the spikes off the people, the team you're playing, let them go out there with shoes that are slick? No, we want everybody on the same playing field, guys. And I think when you look at these screw blowers and stuff, they're not on the same playing field. Some screws are better than our screws. Yeah. You know,
I hear
so
it. Yeah.
How is that right to the races? That I can't get my hands on a screw. A screw right now is 2 years old. It's $50,000. But I can get you a harsh blower pretty damn quick.
I mean, there's no doubt there was room in the industry for this to happen. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to force competition is not always a bad thing, right? I mean, it's going to force people to double down. It's going to force people to make decisions and commit to those decisions. I'm excited to see it. I mean, I kind of think back to like the old Nitrous Wars days when you'd see Mike Thermos running ads for NOS, you know, kind of taking aim at what was the other one that he was always going after? CompuCar, I think was who it was.
That's old. That's really old school.
But that was how it was, or the beer wars, right? When we had Budweiser on the side of a car and a Miller Lite on the side. I don't think this is all bad.
And it's also
a story.
Yeah, it's also a good thing from a rule balancing the competition too.
Go ahead.
Because we were looking at our rules. We actually, we're I must be.
Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
I think when you look at Dustin Hart, I think he has put a lot of effort into this blower and stuff. I mean, this centrifugal blower and stuff. He has done his homework on it. He has fixed the problems that we was having with him, and this guy deserves a chance in this industry. He's worked for it, you know, and we need people like that's got new ideas are coming up. You don't really want to slow the sport down. You want the sport to speed up. I mean, if I'm going to buy a ticket to an event, I don't want to see the same damn thing over. You know what I'm saying? I want to see
you want to see him evolve.
Yeah, that's what we had our first call to talk about rules for Winter Series that we're hoping to release here in the coming weeks. And it was a little bit refreshing to know that, you know, the Pro Charger without having to, or the centrifugally charged combination without having to make any adjustment, I think we're going to see that combination pick up and be maybe a little more competitive with the other combinations compared to what we saw at the end of last year or at the end of our Winter Series back in March. So to just see it evolve that little bit, that actually, we came away, I don't want to give away too much, we came away from our meeting like, I don't know that we'd have to make a ton of changes compared to where we were last year.
Hell, email me your notes. Let me look at them.
Well, I mean, you'll be happy. You'll be happy.
You'll be happy.
But I mean, it makes our job easier too. When like you're saying, Randy, we don't have to slow down another combination to allow another one to catch up when that combination is naturally progressing. I think that's what we want to see out of all these combinations.
Yes. Yeah, I think, you know, records like that to be broken, guys. I mean, there's always a milestone that we're looking to achieve always, you know.
It's an inherent part of drag racing. Yeah.
It is. And, you know, and let me say this too. I put a bullet Lumen Heisen up underneath my car that Justin Carmack made for me. It has a solid axle in it now. And I've got to say that thing really made the car drive better, number one. Number two, it gave it more hook. I can tell you that for a fact. I was able to put more into it. So I think that was a combination between the hearts and that.
I believe it because when we were looking at your early numbers, the conversation we had specifically about Randy Weatherford yesterday was that I don't know that they left anything on the table in the first 330 foot of that racetrack. I mean, that was a really good run.
Only thing I can tell you I left on the table was 5 damn sleeves and 8 damn piston tore to hell. I can tell you that. I left that on the table.
I believe it, brother.
Well, that's good. I mean, you got to run this stuff hard.
You got to run hard. I've got to say, I got to throw it like that to Steve Petty. I got to say Steve Petty, Jamie, and Dustin. I wouldn't be talking to you today if it wasn't for them.
Those are some guys that have made a big impact on our sport, and it's been cool to see them have such, and to see their reaction on to your win. And like I was texting Taylor Sunday or Saturday night, and I could sense his excitement through the text. Like, these guys are fired up. He was so happy for it. I mean, after all the battle that it's been, and not, to just, you guys have ran good. I mean, it's just hard out here. This is as hard as it's ever been. What was it like for your guys, like Steve Petty and Jamie and Taylor and all these guys that have toured around with you and had to load up early and, have those tough days? What was that like to see them kind of get to experience that?
Well,
Randy?
I mean, I was happy to see that video of them, jumping around and stuff, because the burden's been lifted off their back. You know what I'm saying? That they feel revived, that we can go out there and win. It looks like, here in the past, I have a good light, but I just get my ass stomped at the end. I couldn't run with them. It feels real damn good, guys. I mean, hell, I'm still trying to get over it.
I'm glad, Randy. That's what we're, yeah.
And I'm going to this next race, and I'm hoping we do pretty good up there, and I feel like we will. I feel like my driving's there now since I got a car up under me.
I was just getting ready to ask
Taylor
that.
was saying that. I was talking to Taylor, and Taylor was like, the hard part's been that Dad's been driving so well, but the car hasn't been there. But now it seems like you're bringing the two of them together. And I mean, like you said, this weekend, and then looking forward to the Winter Series as well. I think you're right back in there. Like you said, like you were 2019 a couple of years ago, where you're the one to beat with this combination.
Yeah, and them guys, they was working on putting numbers in the box. I said, well, don't tell me what the hell you're doing. Just do what you think needs to be done. I'll take care of the rest when I get up there. That's when you really know you're moving forward on the tree and stuff. I can see the tree pretty good. It's one of the things, Wes, when you're into it, you don't remember nothing. They'll come back and say, well, how do you think you hit the light? Hell, I didn't even see the light, guys. You just don't remember it. That's when you're really on your game.
That's what do they call it? Flow state, Mike? Yeah. And that's what we always love to see when a driver, when you believe in your car, we immediately see it on that time slip. Right? Like we look at these things, we can immediately see a guy that's confident or a gal that's confident in their car. And you could see that over the course of the weekend, because not only did the car perform, but so did you. And I think that's what maybe made it such a special, because I'm sure you saw, like, it went crazy on our social media. Like, it got a ton of traction, the story afterwards, the interviews, like those things were all going bonkers. And I'm like, man, our sport is really happy to see Randy Weatherford run good. Like, I mean, it's got to feel good, man. There's a lot of people that have seen you be selfless. I'm gonna get you to tell me a story, or at least own up to one. I got a call from a guy, and you're gonna know who it was soon. A couple months ago, I was on the phone, and it's someone I know, but I don't know him especially well. And we were talking about stories, and he goes, "You know who you need to put on the cover of that damn magazine?" And I said, "No, who?" Right? And normally they all say the same thing, me. Right? Like, it's almost what they always say. And he goes, "Randy Weatherford." And I said, "Really? What?" I'm curious. Like, there's got to be a story to that. And it was Scott Lang. And he went on to tell me that all the good that he has had happen to him in the sport of drag racing, and that he owes to you. That you sold him your car, and you didn't rob all the good stuff off of it. You handed him a notebook. Told him, "I will help you be successful. I'll give you whatever you need, whatever run info we can give you, whatever help we've got to give you to make sure that you go out and have success." I mean, it gives me chills to tell that story, Randy, because I think that's part of why people were so excited to see you in the Winner's Circle Saturday night, is that you've helped a lot of people do this, and you're mighty quiet about it.
Yeah, I mean, I love drag racing, I like to be part of it. I like to, I sponsor some of the PDRA. I like
you help us out
because
yeah.
I like helping it, because I think the sport deserves to keep on moving forward, and we need people to step in and ante up a little bit, because the sport the sport needs it. We want somewhere to race, somewhere to be competitive. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Right now, I'm in pretty good shape. I feel like I probably got 4 or 5 more years in me.
Hell yeah.
And
Easy.
yeah, hell, I know, I still can crow a little bit.
Yeah, you're going to be just fine. No, but I mean, and I wanted you to hear that, Randy, because I just think shit like that's cool. And those are the stories that you really don't hear that often, because everybody in the racing community is pretty laser focused on their own endeavors. You know what I mean? What they're doing. Yeah. But when Scott, and rightfully so, I'm not talking shit or anything, but it's like everybody gets pretty focused on what they're doing. And when Scott called and told me that story, and here's a guy who's done really well. He's run really well. He's won some big races. I mean, he's got a superstar athlete son. I mean, he's accomplished a lot, got car dealerships. Yeah. But I thought it was real to hear him say, like, all the success that we've had, getting to this point would not have happened without Randy Weatherford being so willing to help me. And he goes, and he does it all the time. He does it all the time. He said they can have their stuff loaded up and somebody need a part that's on their car and they'll unload it and yank it off there because somebody needs it. And is that like always been, is that like the construction guy in you, Randy? Or like, where does that come from? Is that from your upbringing? Where that's normally not something that people arrive at naturally. Yeah.
Well, I think it comes from my upbringing, from my mom. She's always taught me, to reach down and try to help people if I can. And I'll just be honest with you. I'm a straight shooter. I like helping people. I don't want to be patted on the back for that. I feel like it's general. If I'm going to be general about stuff like that, I just want to do it and don't want to be patted on the back for it. It comes from the heart.
I think we all feel it, Randy, because yeah.
We live in a world today. People don't want to help people, but I think that's the sadness of this world. To be honest with you.
Or if they do help, they want all the glory, or they want to make it about themselves, which, you know what you're saying. And I think that we were all kind of raised that way, right? That if you are going to help someone, you do it selflessly and you don't take the credit for it. And there's a ton of that goes on in drag racing, but your support over all these years through, I mean, just really through the whole Pro Mod class. We got somebody here making a comment saying that you showed up at Big Dog just to help Cam Clark. I don't know when that was, but I'm sure probably multiple times. But yeah, just a guy that goes about his business very quietly, walk tall and carry a big stick. Right. So really cool to see. And like you said, good that we finally got you on here and allow you to tell your story a little bit. Cause I think a lot of guys see your cars, your current cars and your former ones. I mean, they're unmistakable. They're out there, Scott Lang's being one, and there are multiple others, but they don't necessarily know Randy the person. So I think that's a really cool story, like what Wes told, that just kind of illustrates what you've been doing for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, and also I like in this business to give work to guys that are in the business, that supports me. I want to support them.
Carmack being one of those, right? I mean, as far as the development and what he's done, I know that's you contributed to that. Yeah.
We've all got him.
My damn child. Carmack is a brilliant guy. I mean, he's just, he's all over the place, but he makes some good shit.
Oh, be there, no doubt.
That rear end I got up on that car is pretty good.
Yeah, I think you sold a few more of those this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that rear end under my car is probably about 12, 14 pounds lighter than a steel rear end Eisen. So I'm able to put that weight somewhere else. And
that's the name of the game. I mean, I remember how crazy is it for you when you think about how much this class has changed? Because I remember growing up, like in the early days of the fast door slammer world. I mean, most of these cars may as well had the four links welded solid. Ain't nobody making a bar change. You know what I mean? Like, if we're doing anything, we're slipping the clutch a little bit more or putting some bass in it. Right. But it's gotten so crazy. Is it kind of nuts how far this has all gone? I mean, I saw John Salimi. We published a quote the other day that, these cars have sped up over a half a second in the last 10 years alone. I mean, it's pretty bananas.
Yeah. Think about it. This race is just math. It's just numbers. And I deal with numbers all the time. And to me, it's pretty interesting, because, here I run an erection company, so we use numbers, weights. When we get ready to make a critical lift, we've got to know how much it weighs, and we got to know how far we got to lift it, how far we get, what kind of radius and all that. So, I mean, it's just numbers. And once you trend that number and you keep good records and stuff, you just keep going back to the records. It's numbers, and that's what has made us speed up so much better. We're able to, the computer system is faster. The fuel injection system is faster. So we're able to tune the motor a lot better. And it's going to keep speeding up with all that technology in it. So, I mean, it's a number game. That's what it is.
And there was a lot of room for error back then too. If you think back to those quick 8 days and you'd go from Mooresville to Farmington or to whatever other track, and then there was just a lot of room for error and a big gap usually between number 1 and number 8 or whatever. And now there's no room for error. And we've got a field like at the Winter Series of 32 cars that's as tight as most 8-car fields. And so there's just there's not all that kind of slop in what you can get away with. You've got to be laser focused, like what you're saying.
You've got to be on your game. You got to. I mean, the car's got to be tuned right, but also it can be lost at the starting line. That's what is so unique about sport. Just in that brief moment, it can be lost right at the starting line, or be won.
It's amazing, and we saw plenty of it over the weekend. And I tell that to people all the time that, whenever I'm talking to somebody or tell somebody I just met that my business is drag racing, and they'll start asking questions, and they're like, well, isn't that like we're just two people get in a car and stab the gas and drive in a straight line? And it's like, if you only knew how many ways there were to screw this up. Because, I mean, that's one of the things that, like, for anybody who doesn't believe that our sport is a team sport, I challenge that, because, I mean, the kid putting air in the tires, if the gauge is wrong, or if he puts 6.5 pounds of air in one tire and 8.5 pounds in the other one accidentally, it's all for naught. Best equipment in the world, best driver in the world, it's all for naught. And I just think that that's kind of the magic about it. It's because of all the technicalities and all the numbers and all the data we have, it still lands in the hands of human beings that are tasked with making the right decision and doing the right thing. It's pretty fucking special, man.
I think if you looked at this race that we just come through, by me getting number 1 spot was lucky for me, because if I would have had a person in, it would have been a full field, I wouldn't be talking to you right now, because I had an electrical problem in first round. It went out that 330 and it just cut off. I was done. So if someone else would have been in that lane over there, we wouldn't be talking right now. Yeah. So it's like that was my lucky card. That was my hall pass I got.
Takes one of those.
Takes one one though, doesn't it?
We always said you don't win a race without one of those. I mean, no matter how good you think you are.
Once I got that hall pass and come back, I said, I gotta find what the hell's wrong with this car. We found it, fixed it, and then after that, I had to be right then, because the next guy I had to run Steve King. He's pretty bad. And then I had to go through Jason Harris, and man, he's got more horseshoes than the damn horse farm does. I mean, he's got horseshoes. But, it's like that. I've lost races to him. We'd both be good on the light or bad on the light, and he just like running me. And then when I got to Little Tie, that was going to be a hell of a race, because I knew that he could run right there with me, And
he did. And that was he went red, but
were
he
you
was right
surprised
there
to see them step up like that, or were you counting on him stepping up? Because, I mean, for those that weren't following along, Yeah, the 359 in the semifinals. For those that weren't watching, the long short of it is that Ty Tutterow and Lil Ty, or Lumberjack, if depending on which name you're using, Ty Tutterow in the semifinals goes up against Preston Tanner, uncorks a 359 with a 2. Then in the final meets, squares off with Randy Weatherford, and as we mentioned, goes red. But he did pick up a couple of numbers, went 357 with a 6. I mean, did you anticipate that they'd be able to pull that 57 out?
You damn right I did. I knew damn well he was going to pull it out. I mean, I knew it was there, guys. Because if you watch Kurt went 117 back half. Do the math. That's what we looked at. When Kurt went 117 back half, that told us right then, man, these guys right here can run faster than that.
Yep, and you know that Todd, you run against Todd enough that you know he's got something for you in the finals, that he was going to be able to dig deep and get that and make that happen. But yeah, and like we talked about, it's good to see that combination, because then all of a sudden the talk was, oh, this Harsh Charger is going to run away with the class. But then you see Todd with the screw and Ty step up and run right with you, ET wise. So it's good to see. Like you never want it. You want that back and forth, and we saw it all happen in one race.
I guess I would ask you guys if I couldn't run that 357 and run that 17.4 back half, would we have ever seen that 117 come out of them?
That's the question.
Would Todd them show us that 117? I don't think so.
He might have had to save it for the next time he needed it.
He would have saved it for the next time. But right now you can't save it when you're running. You better bring it.
I love it, man.
And I think that's what makes this sport good. You know, we're right now we're dead nuts even.
It's going to be a fun into the year, man. I feel like I was really glad to see that big crowd there. US 131 Motorsports always draws a hell of a crowd. That place was slam packed, and the PDRA was like right at the center of it. And it was I think a great weekend for the sport of drag racing, and I can't wait till they roll into Bristol, man. I mean, what are there, 3 races left?
Yeah.
3? Yeah, 3 races left. Where are you at in the points? Are you leading?
No, I think I jumped up to like number 5 or number 4. I'm 2 rounds out of the lead now.
I just had it up earlier. Like current point standings, Pro Boost. Yeah, jumped up 6th. So yeah, I mean, you've got. Hey, man. You have this kind of an end to the season. We're going to be talking turkey come October, man.
Who's leading the points? Who's the top
right
3
now?
Right now?
Ty Tutterow, Jason Harris, Johnny Camp, and I got to give a shout out to Johnny Camp. I texted him over the weekend. That car was, I mean, it wasn't tore up terrible, but it was tore up plenty bad. And after he got into the wall at Empire Dragway, and I told him, I said, the sport of drag racing, I'm not trying to talk for anybody, but we appreciate guys like you who tore your shit up real bad and within a couple of weeks have that thing painted, looking good, and back at the racetrack. And obviously he's chasing points. He wants to win a championship, but like, guys, that was badass. I mean, just being there was badass. I was really impressed by that.
Johnny's been driving pretty good.
Yes, he has.
Been driving damn good. I lost to John by 1,000th red down there in Galat, the first race of this year. And 1,000. Yeah, but there's some hard competitors out there, guys, and this is going to be a nail biting season. I've got something I can run with, and hell, they gonna show me what they got. We're all gonna see what comes on top.
I can't wait, man. We're looking forward to it.
All about.
It's 100%. Randy, we appreciate your time. Let's give it up. Fresh off a big win at the PDRA Northern Nationals, Randy Weatherford. Thanks for joining us, buddy. We appreciate you very much. I'll be talking to you soon, all right? Good luck this weekend. Be safe, okay?
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, Randy.
Brother. Well, hey guys, let me take a quick second here and remind you that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by way of our friends at Stroud Safety. Stroud Safety is known for their top quality racing safety equipment, from drag chutes and seatbelts to fire suits and blankets, all 100% made in America. Log on to stroudsafety.com today and tell them we sent you. We got another banging guest in the green room right now. That was a hell of a conversation, was it not?
Dude, Randy was letting it hang out.
Randy, I mean, I didn't anticipate him stealing the show quite like
yeah, that's a side I don't know that I've ever even seen of Randy. I mean, he just goes about his business most times, but you can tell he's feeling it now. He's confident after that. After that number one would win and feeling good going into the end of the year. I like it, man.
Oh, dude, I'm excited, man. That's the type of conversation that fires you up for the rest of the PDRA season. Like, I'm glad we had Randy on, because I want him talking about this. I want Ty Tutterow and Todd Tutterow talking about this. I want Kurt Stedding talking about it. I want Jason Harris talking about it, because there's a lot of excitement right now, and I'm proud to be a little bitty part of it, man. But let's give it up to our next guest. We got another one right out of the winner's circle. It's almost like we're rolling them straight out of the winner's circle into the Wes Buck Show. Guys, let's give it up for Amber Franklin-Denton. Hey, Amber.
How are you?
Not as good as you. I mean, I was feeling pretty good until Saturday rolled around. And I'm like, well, Amber's got me beat. Can't have a better day than this young lady's having. First off, congrats. But I was just thinking about that as I was getting ready for the show this morning. I go, okay, Amber's got some shit happening, right?
Right. Current cover star of on Dragon.
Hold on, I got a list. Mike,
okay, I want to make sure you didn't forget that. I want to make sure you didn't forget. Okay.
I got a list, all right? So, Pro Nitrous announcement. Amber Franklin, now Amber Franklin-Denton, or Amber Denton, I was trying to just cover my bases, goes Pro Nitrous racing, right? Going PDRA, right? Goes down, makes her Pro Nitrous or Pro Modified debut, qualifies for the baddest field of Pro Modifieds ever assembled in the history.
You outqualified your dad, universe. Right? Then you
qualifies at qualifies at the World Series of Pro Mod, gets to participate in that legendary chip draw and be a part of that. Insane. Then you follow that up with, comes out PDRA, guns blazing, Pro Nitrous right in the mix of things. Cover of the Drag Illustrated Women of Power special issue, right? I'm about to run out of fingers, young lady. And last one, this weekend, park that thing in the winner's circle, your first Pro Nitrous win, PDRA Northern Nationals, and do it alongside your father. I mean, are you as wound up as Randy Weatherford? I would think so.
Yeah, no, I definitely am super excited with the way this season is panning out right now. Like, I knew going into the season that I would be excited, but the way that things are happening, like, thank you to you guys for allowing obviously the first two things to even be an option for me, and qualifying and having the cover. So yeah, it's been a great season so far.
Yeah, it's going to be, if it continues at this pace, I mean, you may be running for office, next term or something. I don't know.
I'm sure that's on the radar.
Big things are happening for Amber Denton. Well, so I don't want to, I want to talk to you and tell stories and converse, but all the coverage we did after the race and after Saturday night, like the way that final unfolded, racing against your dad, like we've talked about this a lot. I mean, a couple weeks ago we had Greg Stanfield and Aaron Stanfield in the final together. Like this is a story that feels pretty unique to drag racing, right? I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing. And what was it like dreaming about racing against your dad someday as a little girl? You're still a young lady, but having that happen, like I can't really even imagine. The place is packed out, right? It's the toughest competition, and here you are in the final against your dad. What was that moment like?
Yeah, it was super surreal, and I feel like when I was younger, like I would think about that and it felt like so far away. I was like, like it feels so out of reach. And then like now, like being in the position when I entered the class, I was like, okay, I could actually like line up against my dad, and we bracket race together and everything, but watching him pro mod race is what I grew up doing. That's where my heart is. And, we kept joking each race. We're like, is this the race? Is this the race? And it just didn't happen. I think it was Galat. I was supposed to have him the semifinals if I had won second round, and I screwed it up and didn't get there. So being in Michigan, looking at the bigger picture now, like this was a bigger story. And like you said, packed house. And after I blew the motor up, semifinals, we obviously were having some issues throughout the weekend that we're still trying to figure out what was going on. And the guys are working hard. I know both cars are already apart and getting worked on for Bristol in a couple weeks. But after we ran the semifinals, I was kind of stressed because I'm like, oh gosh, like I didn't know at that point if my dad was going to be in the finals. I'm like, we've got a lot of work to do. It didn't just mess up the motor. There was quite a bit of damage to the car itself. So a lot of the different things that you didn't think about when we were at the top end. And then getting back up there in time to watch my dad. And unfortunately, Tim Papp, I think, had like a fuel fitting that broke on the starting line. So he got a single. And I'm like, okay, well, great. He's going to the finals, not expecting him to go out and have the same issue. So it was definitely chaotic at first. And I don't think it really sunk in until we were up in the staging lanes. And I was like, okay, we're actually in a final round together. Like, this is a moment we have talked about forever, but there was so much chaos in the pits that it really didn't give us any time to even think about it. So I think I said in the interview that Nate did afterwards, like I just sat in there and I could hear Tyler and Scotty over the PA just saying, you know, like this is a moment they talked about, and hopefully I was soaking it in. And in that moment I did just stop and I was like, I do need to soak this in. Like, this is the first time we've ever had this moment, and I hope we can line up again with each other and hopefully have a little bit of a faster race. But
yeah, next time with nitrous. You won the first ever Pro Nitrous race with no nitrous. That's something you can right, you can put down. Which, I mean, you were talking about the thrash leading up to that, and just the family nature of everything that goes on there. And just, you know, you got Jason Harris I saw over there, Evan Salemi, all these different guys, these guys that work on these different combinations. They're over there helping you get your nitrous engine, repaired as much as you could to be able to pull up there. But what was it like when you, I mean, did you have any expectation of what the pass was going to be like when you let go of the button and this thing is just like, I mean, they sounded like tractors or something leaving the starting line, and they just never changed tone. And just, what did they run, like a 5 something
40 or something? Yeah.
I mean, we both went, I think I went 5:44 and he went 5:46 or something another.
I mean, it was like an ultra tight race with decided on the Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was insane. And we really didn't know what to expect. And that was part of the thing that, like, kind of, it was still fun. You know, we still, like, we were, aside from the damage that happened and why we were there, we laughed and joked, and like it was a really fun race. Obviously we would have rather have it, like, you know, heads up like we're used to, but it was heads up. And we were we both, like I said, had quite a bit of damage, and thankfully Buddy Perkinson and his crew guy Brian Terrell jumped in, and before my dad had even ran the semifinals, he's like, I'm getting my spare motor out, we'll get it over here. And I told him, I was like, I don't want to make that decision. Like, you know, I don't want to.
Amber's going, no, don't pin this on me. I didn't go ask for anybody's spare engine.
Go clear it with my dad first. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was just a thrash, but you know, those guys showed true sportsmanship. And like you said, like Evan Salemi jumping in, like Evan's a great friend of ours, and he jumped in, and I'm like, Evan, I didn't know, like, you knew what to do when there wasn't a blower involved. Like, just joking with him, obviously. I mean, he's super talented. All of our crew guys, like, we, and I think it was mine or Blake's championship speech last year or the year before, we called it professionally controlled chaos in our pits. And that was the true definition of it this past weekend. And it was like everyone, you know, jumped in line and just did what they needed to do to get it done. And we had no clue what to expect. Jeff was like, you know, if it doesn't feel right, like, obviously this thing isn't going to be running the way it's used to. So just lift. And we were like, okay. But it did feel like, I told him, I was like, I felt like I had like the throttle stop on or something. Like,
yeah, that's what it sounded like.
I'm waiting for it to like take off, but obviously gearing and converters and everything else was still set up for nitrous.
Well,
so.
And it also showed how badass nitrous actually is. I mean, you could take two of the baddest nitrous cars on the planet and run them on no nitrous. They slow down like 2 seconds in the 8th mile. So if anybody ever questioned how awesome nitrous is and how much of it they're using on a
All of
typical
it.
run.
Yep.
There you go. You kind of got a glimpse to it.
That's
right there.
literally why I was excited to get that video up on social, because I'm like, for all the people who have asked me over the years, how much of a difference does nitrous make? It's like, a lot. Watch
Yeah.
this video and you'll see it's like a lot. Because I really did. I almost thought we should have put like Winnebago on the side of one, like treat them like the motorhome race they do in Charlotte at ZMAX during the NHRA national event. Like it literally looked like you guys were just driving down the racetrack. And it's crazy because we have Jimmy Dale on here and he's talking about how crazy it is to run 530, but that just goes to show you, like, when you've got one that's built to go 360, it sure handles that 540 a lot differently than your stock Mustang.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it was insane. And when we left, like, I was like, I don't even know where he's at. I know I'm just trying to, like, give me something here. And finally at the finish line, like, his car is so dark now. I'm used to seeing bright colors in our camp. So I was like, I don't know where he's at. But I saw him, like, right at the end. It was like 006 at the finish line. And I'm like, this is insane. Like, we wanted a heads up race and we got it. Like, that was all we wanted to do. And I didn't want to go up there without him. He didn't want to go up there without me, like vice versa. I was like, we just want to race for this win and that is it. And that's what happened.
You were probably pushing your foot through the firewall, trying to get or open the door next time and stick your foot out and Barney or what Flintstone that thing.
Fred Flintstone that thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how I felt. I was like, okay, come on, let's go. But it didn't seem to do much, but it did give me the win. So maybe it did something.
Pretty
Man,
wild. It capped off like a pretty wild weekend. I feel like, that all the stuff that's going on with that event at 131, the exhibition cars, the Top Fuel, the whole deal. Does that feel like how much next year we got to go to that one, Wes? It just seems like it's, just a spectacle. How different does it feel?
If I wouldn't keep losing help, I was planning on being there. I ate a flight and a hotel room, but anyways.
But is that event every year when you guys go there, working with the Petersons and everything, like, I guess maybe how did that come about? And, you guys look forward to that every year. Is that something we can continue to see? You guys partner up with 131 and continue to put on this event, because it really is like a highlight on the schedule, like this August timeline. It's like late summer, the dog days of summer. Everybody's kind of looking forward to fall, and it's really it's like something you don't really pay attention to, and then this event pops up and it's packed. It's like setting records. They're shutting the place down, and you guys have just a whale of an event on your hands here late summer.
Yeah, no, this event I look forward to it each year. I think, like, after last year, like, it was packed, and then going into this year, I was like, I really hope, like, it's another great event. And hats off to the Peterson family and their entire staff, all the PDRA staff, because it is such a fun event. Like, the fans are great. They pack the house. The facility is beautiful. It's a nice racetrack. I look forward to this race every year. And I know, or I hope a lot of the other racers do as well. So I hope it's a partnership that definitely continues, because we look forward to it every year. And it's definitely just exciting, racing in front of that many fans. Like, part of the reason, like, we wanted to make sure we made that final round because we wanted to give those fans a show, like, we didn't want to just go up there and take a tree or whatever, it wasn't the same. And we had a crowd of people around our pit for a while, and just the fans, like, one of the fans brought up my dad's front end. The Zeus tabs had got blown off when it blew the hood scoop off. So one of the fans actually brought a piece of that back, which thankfully we can now fix in time for Bristol. We were going to try and have to find a new front end or something else. And, it's honestly just a great atmosphere. Having the Top Fuel is different. Having the nostalgia cars is different. And I look forward to it every year. So I definitely hope it's a partnership that continues.
And it's a track you guys don't like. It's not like in your usual repertoire, right? I mean, you've got VMP, which is the family track, but you guys frequent a lot of places out there on the East Coast. So I'm sure that's why I like seeing the PDRA make that slight move, to the Midwest or whatever, and have some of those events, because I truly believe PDRA is some of the best. It is the best drag racing that's happening in the country. And I like to see it kind of out of its usual stomping ground, because I think you'll win fans that maybe, you know, they'll fly out to the World Finals, right? Or maybe earlier in the season, they'll come and be a part of it, or be a part of one of the weekends that they have home during the summer or whatever. So
it's a strong area of the country too. And
it is.
Norwalk had their Night of Fire going on. What else was going on? It's like there was a handful of races all within a certain radius of US 131, and somebody put together like a collage showing that every single one of them was packed. So you know, we talk a lot about scheduling and about cannibalizing from one to another if they're too close together. But that showed that area of the country, especially this time of year, I think it's something all these fans look forward to, and they just showed out. And every single one of those facilities had, you know, near record or record crowds this weekend.
I look at showmen. That's what I see. I see the Bader family, whether it's, you know, Bill Sr., Bill Bader Jr.,
What other tracks
Evan
was it
Bader,
that was packed? I got to look
the
it up.
Petersons, you got to give them credit. Is like you did mention Jason Peterson, Samuel Peterson. These guys, they really know that market. They have treated that market well. You know what I mean? And they've delivered on the promise of a hell of a show. And I think that's what I took away from it, is that there still are some promoters in our space, right? I think our sport kind of gravitated towards a back gate model, where most of the events, how many racers can we stuff in here? And as long as we got enough racers to pay the purse, it doesn't matter if there's a crowd here or not. But there are still some promoters out here that are trying to operate their business on the front gate, sell tickets, put butts in seats. And that's, to me, is an exciting thing. And I'm sure it was a proud moment from you, like when you take your race car helmet off and recognize that, you know, the PDRA is a family run business, your family, of course, Tyler Crossnow and all the team, Will Smith, all the various people involved. But that had to be a proud moment, just to see a crowd like that and the PDRA flag flying.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I do see a lot of the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, and you guys know just as much as everyone, like promoting an event, like these people online, like if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. But you guys understand the hard work that goes into it. And like when you do see the race, you know, hit a slam home run, and it was awesome. I loved it. I love racing in front of that many people, and it just makes a lot of the work feel worth it. And sometimes the races that aren't as great as other, you know, weather factors, it's every little thing goes into this and plays a determining factor. But I think this race has quickly become one of those races in their market that is, you know, one that I hope people mark on their calendars a year in advance. Like, oh, we have to go to that race every year. And like you mentioned, a different market does allow for people to do that. And hopefully PDRA becomes that show that they want to see. And
let's look at the crowd there. Look at that crowd in Norwalk. I mean, Clay Milliken just texted me this while we were on the phone, and it's like,
there's a ton of good shots. Capri Wesley got some good ones with the drone of 131. We could probably grab one of those, but the parking lot is absolutely slammed full. And there was a couple other tracks. They're escaping me right now, but somewhere close to there that was also packed out. And
strong part of the country for drag racing, man. I'm excited. It was a great thing to see, and just a storybook kind of, you know, into the summer. Or I guess we're not quite done with summer, but I know my kids are getting ready to go back to school. Thank God. Shout out God and the Texas school system. But they're heading back to school in 7 days. I'm counting it down, 7 days and 19 hours.
We got open house. We got open house tonight, but that's always exciting.
Which grade?
That means it's coming. 5th and 3rd.
Okay, so Christian's going to they're both the orientations are tonight, or oh, that's nice. Are they in the same school?
Maybe second grade. Oh, I'm bad. I can't.
Oh, I didn't mean to get you in that spot.
Yeah, you're getting me in that. Yeah. It's definitely 5th for Christian.
Amber, what grade are you in? 12th, 9th? I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, that's how I remember you. I think the first time I ever met you was when your dad was racing. It was a tough weekend for the family when he tore up the brand new Garrett Livingston car at the ADRL race in Maryland. And it was, I think, the first time I ever met Tommy. I'd known Garrett Livingston for a long time. He was a buddy of mine. And he told me that he's got this brand new car, and he was sending me pictures of it. I think I had a BlackBerry back then. But anyways, I remember that was the first time I met you, and you were a wee lad. Wee young lady.
Yeah. Long time ago. And that's why it's funny, because a lot of the people that I grew up racing, like, it's like, you're still a kid. And I'm like, Yeah, kind of in this atmosphere, I feel like it, but it is weird. Like even now for me, like watching the kids that like I watch go through juniors, I'm like, oh, they're like so grown now. And people are like, we feel that way about you, Amber. I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Fair
That
enough.
just means the rest of us are getting really old.
I know.
I don't
Trust
like to
me.
think about it.
I battle it on the daily because I feel like I'm 27. That's how I feel. I don't have. I mean, I feel good.
That's
but,
what matters then, as long as
know,
you feel that.
Yeah, I feel good, man. Matter of fact, I'm feeling a little froggy this afternoon. I may go to. I don't know. I may go look for a bar fight or something. JT, what are you doing? You busy? Can you come down?
Yeah, I'm
Drive-
always pleased for that, man.
All right. I just feel like maybe we need to cause some trouble or something. I don't know. So tell me about Bristol. I think PDRA at Bristol is badass because, you know, as Mike and I are always identifying how old we are, that was kind of like one of the iconic events for Pro Modified in the IHRA glory days. Just to bring the PDRA, like this new version of fast door slammer racing and this like evolution of our sport, bringing it to Bristol. I mean, is that one you? I mean, you speaking about dates you circle on the calendar, racing between those mountains. There ain't much cooler than that.
Yeah, I love Bristol. It's just such a pretty facility like that, and I feel like that is something too. Like you mentioned with the PDRA, like finding these new markets in different areas and new facilities. I absolutely love Bristol. It's beautiful. And it's just different, you know, like we get to go out and meet new fans and different people. And I think, like you mentioned, also the history of it, it means a lot. And I know there's a lot of racers on the PDRA level that might not have ever gotten to race at Bristol. And last year being able to was a big deal for them. So I think all of the racers look forward to it as well. And we can try and put on a good show for everyone.
Did you go there like for the junior dragster bracket finals and did you ever go to any of those?
I never got to go to ECF. It's always, now that we don't race in July, it's not, but it was always like the week of a PDRA race. So it's just a lot to take off of work or a week.
Because apparently those events are wild. Like I have heard, and not wild in like but like, you know, kids being kids first and foremost, which, you know, it's going to happen. And I'm not here to, you know, scold or reprimand. But I got a call last week saying that like 3 or 4 guys went to jail at the Eastern Conference Finals this year in Bristol. Not like, and not because they were like raising hell, but like they were arguing with track staff and there was all this fallout. And I'm telling you, I can't even imagine.
Man, nobody's more intense than a junior dad.
No.
Like don't cross the mom. I mean, just ask what's our boy David Wright over at Double O Shit Show. I think he might instigate some of this carnage that you're referring to.
Well, he was publicizing and covering the Eastern Conference bracket or junior finals as if it was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, making memes. There's a post every few minutes. I mean, I'm like, holy crap, man. These guys are really getting some mileage out of David Wright. I loved it.
Yeah, no, the junior days, like I loved racing juniors, but there is now it seems a lot of drama. So I'm not mad that we're in that realm. But we do have on the like VMP side, we have a team that goes every year and like a group of kids that go out there and they always have a great time. So it does sound like I've heard there's like hundreds of kids there and hundreds of juniors. I'm like, I just couldn't imagine like there being that many people at one place.
We did a big junior dragster race when I was young and putting on races back in like 2005. I did a big ass junior dragster race, and I think we had like 240 juniors on the property, and it was like the longest 4 days. Because I mean, God bless them, and I try to treat them like royalty. You know what I mean? And we were rolling.
Well, they're
out,
the loudest cars on the property too.
For
I don't
sure.
know if you guys maybe
Ears
it's just
are
my
ringing
hearing
for
tone
days.
or whatever, but
No.
Junior to me is louder than a top fuel car.
Yeah, it's like the pitch,
Yeah.
right?
It is. Yeah.
It's the pitch. Is it harder? Is it more stressful when you were 14 years old, 13 years old, competing for a PDRA Pro Junior Dragster Championship and like being obviously a child? You know, was that more stressful than strapping into the OG Jungle Rat and trying to run a 360?
I wouldn't say more stressful, but I would say probably just as stressful. Like those juniors are tough. They're on their A game at all times. And like I know there's quite a few years where there was one season where I think I qualified for one race and that was it. And I was like, we're trying here, but they're tough. So it's a lot, but I definitely say like just different stress probably would be the way
but
to
it's good. I mean, obviously the training and repetition and everything, and watching your dad run pro mod. But we talked about this after you ran Winter Series, and we saw some in-car footage, and you look like the most seasoned veteran out there. Just the way you're commanding the car, and just the control, and how smooth you are with everything.
Burnouts. I'm telling you, telltale sign. I got you pegged in 8 seconds.
Yeah.
How you come out of that water and back up from it.
But
and,
was that like, I mean, how much of that contributed to it, or how much would you say just being around it and just being around your dad and kind of growing up around the pro mod stuff, as far as preparation for really the highest level of door car racing?
Yeah, no, I would say that was all of it, honestly, and I appreciate it coming from you guys. It does mean a lot. And I do think, I spent a lot of time just watching videos and watching my dad and just trying to, pick up on the small things and asking 500 questions. But I'm thankful that I do have my dad to learn from, and he's taught me everything I know about racing. So seat time was the biggest thing, and taking small steps, going from juniors to the top dragster ranks and getting used to speed, but in a car that I was similar, I guess, driving style, used to driving, and then going to 632. And, after my first year, people were like, oh, are you moving to Pro Nitrous? And I'm like, no, my parents wanted me to get as much seat time as possible, so I wasn't just jumping into something that they didn't feel I was ready for. And I appreciate that a lot, not putting me in. Obviously, I'm eager to do something, but they want to make sure it's the right timing. And even testing the first couple races in January when we came down to Florida, they're like, there's no pressure. You're still getting seat time. And as a competitor, I'm like, well, I want to race, like I want to qualify. But having that mindset behind me is really nice. And them just, being an honest soundboard and watching videos. And like I said, just trying to pay attention to every little thing that I can to pick up the same habits that my dad has.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not easy rolling out there, like you said, in front of that big crowd and all the pressure and all this, all the best pro mod racers in the world are there for the Winter Series, and you're kind of using that as your seat time. I mean, that's pretty brave to be able to do that also, and to do it as well as you did and qualify, as we spoke of earlier. But I kind of want to talk a little bit about the cover of the Women of Power issue that you share with.
Have you seen
Callie
it yet,
Mills.
Amber? I mean, have you got copies
She's
yet?
got it. Well, she's
Okay.
got it. I think
I've got it.
Yeah,
It
we
turned
got her
out
the
so
full
good.
package. Yep.
It turned out so good. I'm curious. One thing that we kind of take pride in here, and I told you this on the front side of the conversation when I asked if there was any chance you'd be willing to go to ZMAX a few months ago. We try to make these cover shoots specifically like an occasion. We don't want to just like grab you in the staging lanes and say, hey, lean up against your car, and take a picture. We want it to be like a memorable experience, something that you'll tell your friends about or think back about.
This is her second time with that. We did the first time we did a shoot way back when with Rick Belden at Pat Musey's shop with her dad. Whenever I think it was it the Champions issue.
Yeah,
you both had won a championship in PDRA that year, and we did that same thing then.
First junior dragster driver ever to be on the cover of the magazine. That was a big deal.
Yep.
But tell us about, I know you and Callie Mills, who's on the cover of the magazine alongside you, have known each other. Obviously, the drag racing community is small, tight knit group by and large. But what was that whole day like, and dealing with Rick Belden and hair and makeup? Like, was it, because this was a level up from the first time you were on the cover, I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, for sure. It was so much fun. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed all of that, and I appreciate it again for giving us the opportunity. Callie is amazing. I love her personality. We had known each other just through the racing community before, but had never really obviously gotten to hang out outside of that. And we had hair and makeup lined up and just came down for the day and then did the shoot, which was so much fun. Rick is such a talented photographer, and he does an amazing job. And being in a different atmosphere than what we were used to on the racing side was also fun. We got to hang out and just enjoy the day. And me and Callie talked about just experiences. And growing up watching our dads race and now being in the same opportunity together. And like, that was something I really enjoyed, just having someone that has a common background as me in the racing world. And I truly enjoyed myself so much doing it. It was so much fun. And like I said, doing it with Callie was even better. She was the perfect person to be on there with. Like, she was amazing. And I appreciate her friendship too a lot.
And you guys have kind of gotten to know each other a little bit more. You both, not to throw it back to this too much, but through Lizzie Musey, you guys both were big fans and friends and very close with Lizzie. But then now you've become close to each other through this and through other, as you guys have raced pro mod more. But what's that been like, kind of what Lizzie meant to both of you guys individually? And then what kind of things have you guys discussed that you both sort of took away from her and are kind of carrying on the legacy that she built as far as being a very formidable force as a female in pro mod?
Yeah. And I think that was another big thing that we both could, talk about, like we did cover that a lot when it was a big part of the day. And we talked about her and just being able to reminisce and having that mutual friendship. And, as female racers, like, as much as we don't like to separate ourselves too much from it, but it was also nice to have that, that common, like, just community almost. And, talking about Lizzie and just growing up and sharing my experiences, and then sharing her experiences in the NPK world. Like, we had different stories, but they all came back to a lot of the same situations or ground level discussions, and just how much Lizzie meant to both of us, and being able to carry that through and show how much strength she did have through the battle that she had. And it was really nice to be able to talk about it with her and hear her side of, what Lizzie was going through MPK and all of that. And she meant the world to both of us, and having that kind of felt like we both could feel her through each other, if that makes sense.
I think it's fantastic. Like, if we never do anything ever again, I think about like the people that we've brought together or been a part of, the dots that we've connected. And it's, I'm so proud of that, because it's like, I think back to was it the first ever Women of Power issue that Lizzie was on the cover of?
I think it was like the second one. I think actually Alexis Ajoria was on the first one.
And that was like an iconic cover, with the first time we ever did the pink masthead. And it was like, that deal like went viral on the internet.
It's still, JT can attest that is far and away the most popular issue that we've ever done, as far as people wanting additional copies or back ordered copies of it. People still call to this day asking for copies of that issue, which we're, long since out of. But yeah, that was a moment that we really kind of called our shot. She was running Top Sportsman. She had just really getting her feet wet in Top Sportsman. I think she was making the move to Pro Mod in Pat's Stratus at that coming season in PDRA. So before she was ever even what she became later on, we had her on the cover. And I think we kind of regret the opportunity or missed the opportunity to put her on the cover again when she started becoming a superstar in NPK and in Pro Mod. I think we always told ourselves, hey, we need to get Lizzie on the cover again. And it was something definitely on our mind and that we had plans to do. But obviously, the universe had other plans. But it's something that she, and like we talk about to this day, any story on our website, any post about her on social media, like, she literally crashed our website multiple times. We could almost bet, all right, we're putting up a Lizzie story.
I would literally have to tell Kyle King, our IT guy, I'd be like, hey, listen, we're getting ready to publish a story on Lizzie. Like, I don't know what the hell you do, but go make sure, like, go twist all the knobs, because it's about to break. Yeah. And inevitably it would crash the website. And I'm like, how much more do I need to pay GoDaddy or whatever? Like, I'm tired. I can't have this happen. And we've got her fixed now. We got our own dedicated server. So yeah, no big deal. No big deal. But it is crazy what she meant and the stardom that she achieved. And it's cool that, I mean, because you think about it, there's a lot of second generation racers, but like this close proximity thing, like Pat, like basically passing the torch to Lizzie, Dwayne Mills, passing the torch to Callie and Tommy, your father being, I don't think Tommy's ready to throw in the towel anytime soon.
Yeah, Tommy's
but
like,
in many
let's not do
ways,
that pass the
he's like,
torch
let's
talk.
not do any pass the torch talk. No pass the torch talk. I'm probably going to get a text from Tommy. But no, I mean, but it's a really cool thing, right? Because you're continuing, not like you're literally following in their footsteps. And I think it's a pretty cool story. And I bet you guys both feel like some tremendous shoes to fill. I mean, obviously, I don't know that we'll never see Dwayne back in a car, but you're talking about a guy that's been on the cover of Drag Illustrated, won all the big radio races, ran well everywhere he went. Your dad, same deal, been on the cover, had all this stardom. You know, everybody knows Tommy Franklin. And to have to kind of follow in that shadow, I'm sure that is a challenge for both you girls.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something we also talked about. And just, you know, coming up and felt like we had to hold up to a certain standard and follow in their footsteps, and like they're great teachers and great role models, and like putting that pressure on ourselves is also something like that's probably natural for both of us to do. And just trying to create our own light in this industry and kind of carve our own name in. And I think like the cover and like doing the women's power, like those are all things that help that, and having people hold us to our own racing career and not just our dads and whatnot. Not that we don't want to follow that, or, you know, obviously they're all great racers, but trying to create a name for ourselves and not be held to someone else's standard at all times.
Well, I think about it all the time. I'm an NBA guy, and I think about poor Bronny James. Nothing the kid's going to ever be able to do. I mean, he's not going to be able to walk across the street as well as his old man did, you know? Yeah. And I just pity the poor guy. But I look at what you guys are doing, and I feel like it's being celebrated. Like it's being something like, look, she can do it too. They can do it too. And it's an aspiring thing. I think it drives aspirational culture. Like, because I hope there's a bunch of, like, I've got an 11-year-old daughter. Sophia turned 11 a couple of days ago. And I look around at all this, and I'm so like, how cool is it that I could literally send my daughter off into a world dominated by big burly boys, right? And in what we do in drag racing, she's got every bit of a good as chance as they do. It doesn't matter how big they are, where they're from, any athletic, she can compete with them. And I think that's a magical thing that our sport really doesn't, we probably don't promote it enough. That like the accessibility that exists in our sport. I mean, we're getting ready to publish a story about a guy building a pro mod that doesn't have arms. No other sport could he go dive in like that. You know what I mean? Like it couldn't happen. But in drag racing, somehow it can. And I think it's a pretty magical thing. So tell us real quick before we cut you loose, Amber, and thank you for the time. Just looking forward, we're heading to Bristol. I'm really hoping we see you guys down this winter at the Big Three, if you will, the Drag Illustrated Winter Series, and going for a shot at that $1 million. Somebody's going to win it. $1 million, somebody's going to win it. I really believe like there's a good chance that it could happen. I don't know that it happens in year one, but I'm confident it can happen. Just kind of give us your takeaway. Where are you at in the points? We did a points breakdown with Tommy or with Randy Weatherford a moment ago. Where are you at? Oh, you're leading the points. I wrote that in the caption.
She's leading.
She's leading the points, and leading the points, like leading the points over her dad. But then we've got Billy Albert, Marcus Butner, Buddy Perkinson, Freddie Scriba, Tim Papp, who I really think is a contender these days. Fresh face, but running really well. I was proud to see how well John Vergatz has been running. Tim Molnar got Ricky Smith tuning a brand new car. I mean, you got your hands full holding these guys off for the rest of the year. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I'm super excited. This year in Pro Nitrous, I mean, we always say every year, like, going into the first race, like, oh, it's first race, like, we don't need to look at points. We're all looking at points. Like, I am, at least. I don't know. I might be speaking too far for other people, but it has been a dogfight all year. And going into Michigan, I think 1st through 7th was within a round in points. And I'm like, that is just insane. Like, I love it because we're all, like, we're competitive. It makes it tight. Like, you cannot slack a single round. And so going into Michigan, we were leading the points, obviously not by much. And so the goal is like, well, we need to win, like, if we want to keep that pace. So doing that definitely helped. And hopefully we can continue the momentum going into the rest of the year and just take it race by race and round by round and gave it our best each race. And I mean, the list of names you just said, like, they're all so like such competitive teams. Everybody's running really great, and I'm excited to see how it pans out. And I think it'll just be a very competitive rest of the season.
I can't argue.
Yeah, keep that thing tuned up. Maybe keep your dad out of the jet box or something. I don't know what was happening over there, but you got to keep that thing in one piece. And I'm sure you guys will get them back together and come out strong in Bristol and for the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure. We had already. My car is already in North Carolina at Robert Hayes getting worked on. The motors are all at Pat's.
No, so you've got to make the Mooresville rounds.
Yeah,
bring it over there and let's get a wrap on it while you're here. Let's just do it.
Right. Yeah, I definitely can't thank my guys enough because they've put the work in, and I know they're working hard. Whatever issue that we were having in Michigan obviously was out of the normal for us, and they're working hard to make sure that it is resolved before the next race. So I'm thankful to them and thankful for all the hard work that they put in this past weekend, because we wouldn't have got the win without it. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
Anytime we had something like that happen, now I'm not saying it's anything close to what you guys have going on, but it would be like trash in the nitrous bottle or in the siphon tube, or just like, some weird random thing. Like you just got a bad fill bottle from air gas or whatever, like your mother bottle, and it had trash or something in the bottom, and then that gets into your bottles, and then that gets into everything else, and then you end up chasing this whole problem, and it can be something like that. Like we ran through a bunch of stuff back in the day with that, but I'm sure you guys are fighting.
If I had $1 for every time I heard my dad say there's a bad ground, so it was always some electrical bullshit. It's like, oh my God, we're chasing wires. It's this drag racing, man, not for the faint of heart.
One little thing can cause, something like what you guys are having, or like Randy said, he lost that or would have lost first round if he wasn't on a bye due to some weird electrical issue. He's got the baddest car on the property, and he #1 qualifier and ended up winning the race, but he needed that to get there. And so it's just people. I don't think people realize how hard it is for these cars to go down the track every single pass like they do for the most part these days. And then when it doesn't happen, or you encounter this carnage, it's kind of shocking. But that's how it used to be back in the day. This is more like what you would run into. Right.
Yeah, I know. But that's what my dad's like thinking. Him and Jeff and Pat, I believe, probably spent 90% of the day on Sunday on the phone. And I'm sure more throughout this week, but they've just been, what about this? What about this? What about this? And there was issues earlier in the week that they found with his car, and obviously had damage that we couldn't fix at the track. So that honestly caused a lot of the issue. Was we were just having just random stupid things go on. And then we got to the end of the weekend, which was awesome that we were both in the finals, and just got to a point where we didn't have enough stuff to get everything back together. So thankfully our competitors came in and helped us out, and hopefully we get those issues fixed and out of the way for the rest of the season.
Well, we're hoping for it too, and we can't wait to see what happens as the PDRA rolls into Bristol Dragway. Appreciate you a bunch joining us, Amber. It means a lot. We look forward to seeing you at the racetrack soon. Be safe, and congratulations.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep, give it up, guys. Amber Franklin-Denton. I'm going to get her last name consistently pronounced one of these days, consistently ordered.
JT, are we having technical issues? I just got this thing saying we're.
Yeah, I just saw that, man. That's what I was just looking at. So.
All right, everybody. Yeah, hopefully everybody is switching over to YouTube and checking us out here. But
yeah, always something.
Always something.
Always something, man. Well, hey,
you guys made it easy on me today.
I was going to say, you hardly got to speak. I want to take a quick second and remind you guys that each and every episode of the Wes Buck Show is made possible by our friends at Redline Synthetic Oils. Let me take a second here, and excuse me, I'm starting over. Did I just start over in script read? Dude, JT, do you just want to take these over? I'm going to have to send a credit to Mark Beatty. Jeez Louise, let me do it one more time.
JT does a killer red line read. Let him break out his red line.
Let me take a second to remind you that the Wes Buck Show is brought to you by Redline Synthetic Oils. Formulated to win, proven by you. We're talking about a brand trusted by the best in the business. Ty Tutterow, Steve Torrance, Callie Mills, Spencer Hyde, Scott Palmer, Tommy Franklin. The list goes on. These aren't just weekend warriors. These are champions, killers, and contenders who rely on Redline to get the job done. Formulated to win, proven by racers like you. Check out the full product lineup at redlineoil.com. JT, Mike, we've got a few minutes here. That wasn't too bad, right? You know, I stumbled a little bit, but you get to saying so much.
You just had to get lubricated.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that was awkward to say out loud, but fair enough. Well, hey, what else do we have to cover? We can take a couple of questions.
You must have missed JT's script read that he did while you were gone, because that was
the height of awkwardness.
That was the height of awkwardness.
I'm not surprised. What's a couple of things I guess I wanted to touch on? How about that? Did you watch the wheel stand video of Ethan Steddings riding down through there in the final round of Pro Street? Quick moment to talk about PDRA Pro Street. This shit's hot, man. I think this deal's hot. It reminds me of why I liked Outlaw 10-5 racing so much, like in the early days of the magazine, when every weekend you were seeing these things up on the wheelie bars, dangling the skinnies through the finish line. Like it was a constant thing. And then we moved away from it with the radials and driving the tires into the ground and sticking the fender, your quarter panels way up in the air and driving the front end into the ground. And it just, the aesthetic of it changed so much. Like, one of my favorite drag racing stories that has ever been written was written by Brett Kepner, and it was the rule that would change everything. And it was basically this long opinionated editorial about how we shouldn't have wheelie bars, that it would change everything. It would make everything the craziest thing ever. And I always thought, like, there's no putting that rabbit back in the hat, right? We got wheelie bars on these bitches.
Unless you're Donald Long.
Unless you're Donald Long. But I will tell you that seeing those cars up on the hind end, skating around, there's some incredible Fletcher Cox, that 380 with a 2 in qualifying to set the national record and qualify number 1. Like, we got blower cars, nitrous cars. I mean, I just think that it's a really good thing, and I hope people continue to support that style of racing, because I see it being a growing part of the Winter Series races.
Ohio Racing Media is asking right now.
My goal right now, and we're putting some final pieces in place, but I got some of the confirmations I needed last week, that I'd really like to see PDRA Pro Street be the co-main event, if you will, of the Drag Illustrated Winter Series, and run those cars at all 3 events, provide those racers the same type of invitation only, hyper exclusive shootout for good money that they can't get anywhere else, and build on the back of what PDRA is doing with Pro Street. This is a great class. There's a lot of great racers there, and there's a lot of opportunity for people to cross over. I mean, you got Pro 275 guys that can make that change. It just is another one of those classes that fits a lot of cars, and I'm quite happy about what's the direction it's going. But we have to be mindful. I see a comment here from Tommy on YouTube about IHRA. This is a really interesting example of what can happen right now, where races start to get back to back and butted up against one another. And at some point, racers will start making decisions, and those are things that have to be, considered, right? With all of these things. That's why I remind people all the time why we do our races in the winter, is because we wanted to be a complementary piece to the puzzle, right? There's so many great things going on in our sport right now that we wanted to be a complement to them. And I never wanted to make any of my dear friends in the door slammer community have to choose who they were going to support. And that's why we've always, and will continue to do our events in the winter months, because I don't have to make anybody decide if they're going to support me or support someone else, or if I think it's a really important part. I think we're right on the cusp of market saturation. There's big pro mod race after big pro mod race after big pro mod race here in August, which is typically a historically challenging time of the year to run these races. Mike, you were making a good point about the success of the PDRA Northern Nationals at US 131 is especially interesting because it happens the first weekend in August. This is typically not a time of year that's great for promoters. It's hot. It's hard to get people to go sit in the stands. They've got other things to do. They want to be on the boat, or they want to be in the air conditioning, or they want to be in the pool. So getting them to choose to go racing. I mean, it's why NHRA historically has always kind of taken the summer off with NHRA Pro Mod, right? It's why there's a big gap in the PDRA schedule, because they know that a lot of these folks are working men and women or business owners, and they've got to provide some breathing room somewhere on that schedule. And I do think we're going to probably see the first shoe drop this weekend, perhaps in Mountain Motor Pro Stock, where there's a limited group of cars there. There were 4 Mountain Motor Pro Stocks at the PDRA race this past weekend at US 131. And it is very interesting. Like, what does the future hold for that particular brand of drag racing now that they have gotten those cars spread across 3 series, NHRA, IHRA, and PDRA? And it's one of those things where inventory ultimately comes into play. So,
yeah.
Well, there's just, and like you said, like they've got suddenly as many places to race on a big stage as Pro Mod, but there's like a quarter, a fifth or less of those than there are of Pro Mod. I think I saw John Montecalvo say that there's like 35 of them total in existence, something like that. So yeah, that's going to dwindle much more quickly. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I already think that we're getting to that point of the year. Obviously the fall is an exciting time for racing, but we've been under a lot of pressure to get our rules out for Winter Series, because guys are literally building cars and acquiring combinations and changing combinations based on what they see in the rules and think is going to be the most competitive for Winter Series. So guys, we've been hearing that for months. And I think that's only going to accelerate as we get closer to Snowbirds kicking off this year's Winter Series. People are going to be chomping at the bit to get that deal started, and we're excited also, man. So it's really that time when the calendar, we flipped it to August. It's time to really get after it for this year's Winter Series.
It's crazy, man. It will be here before we know it. It's a great way to close.
Winter is coming by. Yep.
Winter is coming. Blake, we should have you do some sort of graphic or effect where I say winter is coming.
Make Wes into what's that guy? The winter guy, with the blue eyes. What was that? Game of Thrones has been so long ago now.
Game of Thrones, yeah. Jon Snow, was it? No,
not Jon Snow. The big bad guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to be Jon Snow and wear the jacket.
No, you're going to be the bad guy.
Oh, you always got to be the good guy. Here we go.
I want to be the hero. I'm a white hat by nature. I'm a babyface, always. Struggle with the heel roll. Really struggle with the heel roll.
We know.
However, they trying. They trying.
You need to find that deep within you. Deep within you, you need to. Oh, the White Walker. Yes, you need to find yourself.
The White Walker.
Yeah, that's what they were. That's what they were.
No, I want to be. Is it Jon Snow, like the cool dude with the
Snow's
piercing eyes and the big coat?
Whatever.
You'd be like the White Speedwalker.
Fair, short one. Those guys are tall, right? The White Walkers are tall. I'd stick out like a sore thumb in that community.
It's your chance, man.
I'll be the White Walker. I got the skin tone.
You do.
You may already be the White Walker.
Yeah, I am.
Tall, pale, check
blue
2
eyes. Yes.
Blue eyes. Oh my God.
We're good. We're good.
All right.
Sign me up.
Consider that handled. I'm going to somebody get me a big ass fur coat. There it is. I want to be that guy. Blake, I want to be that dude. Now, isn't there a younger one? That dude's old.
You don't have a fur coat? I can see you owning a fur coat.
You're talking about in the original Game of Thrones way back.
I'm talking about
there
this
was
guy.
You're talking about
Blake, throw me more graphics.
With the
kid.
Hair.
He's a younger guy.
Yeah.
Oh, Ned Stark is the meme guy, says producer Blake.
John, that was like season 1. That was season.
Yeah,
that was
here's the guy that I am. Hold on. Oh, this is not a great flattering photo of him. Here we go. Hold on, I got you guys. Just 2 seconds. I feel this is important.
Hey, while we're spitballing here, I actually just got a text from Brian LaFlamme. We need to give him a shout out. Top sportsman winner, PDRA top sportsman.
How about that standalone story on dragillustrated.com celebrating Peevler and Brian LaFlamme? As soon as I saw, we've been talking internally about how can we expand our coverage on PDRA sportsman racing and like do more for those guys and gals. And one of the things that we had talked about, Nate Van Wagenen brought to the table, he's like, we got to do like a standalone features and like tell the story of just the sportsman winner so it doesn't kind of get lost in the shuffle. And so anyways, we cook up like, okay, we can take this piece, do a couple interviews, get the run results and bang out some stories. And that's exactly what happened. And I was really excited to see Brian's car on the above the fold on the front page of the website. It's kind of badass.
Brian's awesome. I get a kick out.
Yeah, dude.
Amongst
One of the most
coolest
fun
human
guys in
beings
the pits. You get him and Butcher and who else?
Hell, he was dressing like Butcher last time I saw him. I was like, man, what happened to you? Did you go?
He's got
those guys.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
I go. Did you go to Glenn's yard sale and pick up some clothes? You know, I mean, he literally had.
I think I'm going to grow my hair out.
We're having two different conversations here.
No, I'm
stuck in the middle.
Jon Snow
now. I'm kind of envisioning this. Yeah, Brian LaFlamme and Glenn Butcher would wear that jacket.
No doubt.
Guaranteed.
Oh yes. I mean, it has to have more color on it, right?
Yeah. He'd want some paisley on it or something.
Yeah, and a little bigger collar, maybe. Yeah,
a little bigger collar. But we would all three want some button options there, so we can show a little bit of, get some collarbone. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we don't try to look like this for nothing. Not.
Oh boy. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. All right, guys.
Good talking to you guys this week.
Well, Poland's kind of. He's trying to put me over right here. Poland. Wes gives Conor McGregor.
I got my little gangsta necklace right there. Poland.
I got mine hanging on the wall.
Yep, I don't go anywhere without it.
Look at that thing. Look at that,
Mike.
It's blurry.
Well, do you have that on your desk?
What?
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Check this out.
I meant to put this thing on before the start of the show. This thing.
Shit. Now, how did Mike get one?
Ooh, look at that.
I had to get the beta model. I wanted to make sure they were going to turn out fly. And
got my name on it,
we got one for all you.
Oh hell!
I got one for the whole
those
team.
are badass.
And then we're gonna. This is the same ring that Ken Cartuccio is getting for his championship, is he not?
Yeah, I already mailed it to him. He should have it, I think, tomorrow.
The coolest part is on the inside here. I don't know if you can see it. The Drag Illustrated logo in red.
Oh yeah,
that
is cool.
Yeah. Shout out to Bob Campagna, photographer here at Drag Illustrated. What's the name of his company?
Bob makes badass rings.com might be the website.
Bob's Badass Rings.
Bob's Badass Rings.
In addition to shooting photos, he's like, man, I do rings too. And we've been working on that bad boy for a while and just got them a couple days ago. So shout out Bob. Thank you.
Shout out Bob, man. I'm pretty excited about it. You guys know how I feel about jewelry. The more of it, the better. So
this goddamn fly, I swear to God. I have a fly in here. It's driving me nuts. Like it just keeps attacking me. It's like kamikaze.
That feels like it could have probably waited till we went offline, maybe move your head around, dodge it a little bit. You could have done it naturally.
I've been doing it for like an hour and a half. You
found the fly swatter. We couldn't find the fly swatter, and JT finds the fly swatter in my house. We couldn't find it. But JT found it in 2 seconds and started going on a
I looked around
rampage.
Here. I couldn't find one either. So, anyway, boy, we're all over the place. Shit.
I put almost 60 miles on my motorcycle.
Blake's giving the wrap up. Blake's like, wrap it up.
Okay, we're losing him.
This is a lot of good material, Blake. We're trying to give you material for reels. But I want to see a lot of this cut up for reels this week.
Come on, Blake. Hop on board.
Come on, man. Join in. We need to get Blake on here. I may get Blake on camera before it's all said and done. He's heard us rant and rave about the sport of drag racing since he was like 12 now.
He's too handsome.
How good looking.
Man.
That's Jon Snow if I've ever seen it right there.
You know what?
It's the curly hair. Yeah. I'll give it that. If I grew it out, it'd probably,
Why didn't I put this together earlier? You're Jon Snow. You're about to lose Balake, the nickname, and gain Jon Snow.
Get Jon Snow, yeah. Grow hair out a little bit, and then with
get the jacket,
coat, I think we
and a sword.
I've got a sword. I think if we just all need to have a Game of Thrones theme, you know what I mean?
Maybe some protein.
I don't know how like a coat's gonna do. It is winter technically, but in Florida, man, that's gonna be.
Oh, we'll wear it.
We'll do it for Halloween.
We'll wear them.
Yeah.
And you just bring
the racers when they get their jackets. I mean, everybody's like out there wearing them, and I'm like, man, it's pretty hot for those.
Maybe JT
guys,
write this down.
I got a piece out and let Blake
Don't
replace
leave
me.
Yet. Mike, write this down. I want the jackets to have fur. The jackets we get for drivers should have fur collars.
I think sales will go way down of the jacket.
We give them away.
We do for collars.
We give them away.
No,
I'll wear 'em.
didn't the old pilot's jackets used to have the
Oh, that'd be good.
Bombers.
Mike,
yeah.
be careful. Thank you,
Bombers.
buddy. And thank all of you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. We feel it's an honor and a privilege to get to sit here around Ye Drag Racing Water Cooler and chat with all y'all. Remember, winter is coming. Tickets go on sale September 5th for the 2025-26 Drag Illustrated Winter Series presented by J&A Service, the Elite Motorsports Million. Come be a part of drag racing history, and we will see you next Wednesday. Later.
Later, y'all.
See ya.